Hello everyone, and welcome to the first single-parter of the channel. Today, we're going to be covering what if Loki controlled Iron Man. So without further ado, let's get right to it. So we kick this off at Stark Tower, New York City, 2012, where Tony Stark walks into Avengers Tower to confront Loki. "What have I to fear?" Loki says. "The Avengers, your brother, the demigod, a super soldier, a man with breathtaking anger management issues, a couple of master assassins, and you, big fella. You managed to piss off every single one of them. I have an army. We have a Hulk. And maybe your army comes. And maybe we can't protect the Earth. But you'll be damn well sure we'll avenge it. How will your friends have time to deal with me if they'll be so busy fighting you?" And Loki pokes the scepter not on his chest, but on his forehead, which causes the hypnosis to be stronger, but not irreversible. "Go on and fight your Avengers, as you call them." And so, Tony Stark jumps out of Stark Tower, with his Iron Man suit, the Mark 7, following him down, as he goes off to face his fellow Avengers, full-on hypnotized. And as his army, the Chitauri, come through, Loki basks in his imminent victory. Black Widow and Hawkeye fly in to intercept him, shooting at him, but are ultimately shot down by Loki and crash somewhere nearby. Thor soon enough arrives and begins to fight Loki. "Oh brother, you really think you and your precious Avengers could defeat me? For I am not alone anymore." And he looks behind him to see Iron Man coming in blasting at him. Cap, Black Widow, and Hawkeye look up in shock. "It looks like something happened to Stark. We gotta get up there and help." Bruce Banner arrives. "I think I could give you guys a hand with that." He then turns to the Hulk. They get on the Hulk, and Hulk jumps up to Stark Tower. Thor is holding his own against both Iron Man and Loki, and he tries to reason with Stark. "Stark, this isn't you. Loki messed with your mind with the scepter." And Iron Man is about to shoot Thor. Cap then throws his shield. Black Widow begins shooting her pistols, and Hawkeye shoots his bows at Iron Man to try to overwhelm him. Loki tries to make some sort of escape while they're distracted with Iron Man. Thor then blocks his path. "You shall go nowhere, brother." Loki then goes, "Who's going to make me? Just you?" As to which Thor is then like, "No, him." Hulk then does his thing, taking down Loki. The Chitauri army begins climbing up the tower. Cap then tells Thor and Hulk to go give them cover, destroy the Chitauri. They'll handle Stark. And so Hulk and Thor go. Meanwhile, Jarvis is trying everything that he can to get Tony back and find ways to break his hypnosis. Hawkeye and Black Widow begin shooting at Tony. Then Cap comes in running with his shield, and Tony shoots the shield. Cap says, "Tony, snap out of this. Think about everybody you love. Happy Hogan, Rhodey, Pepper." As to which Tony actually begins to go still for a second, and then thinks. And Cap stops, is like, "Yeah, that's right. Think about Pepper. What would she think of you like this?" But Iron Man aims his repulsor up. Well, that didn't work, Cap thinks to himself, and Tony Stark just shoots him with the shot deflecting off his shield. Black Widow and Hawkeye take this opportunity to get with Cap, and together, the three of them start pushing Tony back and fighting him. Nick Fury tries to make contact with Stark, but there's really static. But there's a big problem. The missile. And he knows it. However, Thor is flying up in the sky and he sees the missile, so he flies at the missile, grabbing it, and thinks really quickly and flies up towards the black hole. And he throws the missile at the ship, destroying it just like Tony did in canon. And the Chitauri fall as they did. And so, Thor and Hulk rendezvous with their fellow Avengers to beat Tony. And so the Avengers surround him, ready to fight him. However, Tony gets a phone call, and it's from Pepper, pretty much saying, "Tony, please don't do this. These are your friends. This is your home. We love you. I love you. Come back to us, Tony. Please." We then see Tony come back to normal. And Jarvis says, "Sir, is that you?" Tony then says, Yeah, it's me." Yeah, guys, the reason I did that, having Pepper's call be the thing that pretty much breaks this, is because in the OG canon Avengers movie, he called Pepper didn't answer. So I thought it would be cool to have her actually be the one to call Tony in this story. As to which now the Avengers are glad to have Tony back on their side, and they go to apprehend Loki. Loki also sees that Tony's no longer under his control, and he says, "If it's all the same to you, I'll have that drink now." After which the Avengers look at him and Hulk grunts. And so, this movie wraps around pretty much the same way as it did in canon. This was never intended to be like an actual big story. This was always just intended to be a one-parter thing where Iron Man is just controlled not to totally affect all of the MCU. Like in canon, when Loki said, "How would your friends have time to fight me when they'll be so busy fighting you?" I just thought this would be a cool thing to do. And I'm not saying that poking in the chest doesn't exist, because he did that to William Stryker, right? And Hawkeye in the movie. So it does still exist. It's just, I thought this variant of Loki would be smarter enough to realize that Tony has an arc reactor in his chest and poke it on the mind. And it's really up to you guys to decide in the comments how this affects the rest of the MCU going on. And here we go. We see Pepper going to check on Tony as he is fixing Stark Tower from the damage taken from the Chitauri battle. But he sees him looking a little different. He has put an armor around his head to prevent him from ever being mind controlled again, since we all know Tony learns from his mistakes. And that is it, everybody. What if Loki controlled Iron Man, the single parter? So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in What If Megatron and his team made it to Cybertron in Transformers Animated. I'll see you then.